Dead Rising. I'll be honest, it's gonna be tough for me to judge Dead Rising 4 on its own accord. I love the first game. It's probably one of my favorite games of all time. And although I didn't like 2 or 3 as much, I respected Capcom Vancouver for making worthy sequels that stayed true to the core values of the first game, while also introducing fresh concepts that married well with the franchise. How much you enjoy Dead Rising 4 will probably depend on what elements you enjoyed in the earlier games. A lot has changed in this one. The game is no longer on a timer, survivors don't need escorting anymore, photography returns as a fleshed out mechanic in this one, combo weapons don't require crafting tables anymore, psychos aren't a focus at all anymore. Now most of these changes were made in an attempt to broaden the appeal of the game. Detractors of Dead Rising often listed these nuances as major issues they had with the franchise, so Capcom Vancouver made the decision to nix them. In doing so, they have definitely succeeded in making a more accessible game. True, Dead Rising 4 is a game you can easily pick up and play for a mostly stress-free experience. But by removing these key features from the original game, the franchise has lost so much of its personality. The good! Combat is very fun. The combo weapon system provides a great variety of fun effects, and some combos create a ton of carnage. The combo weapons remain a total focus though, so you'll hardly find yourself using a regular weapon, especially now that you can make combos anywhere. Clothing and outfits. Dead Rising 4 continues the series' tradition of having a huge variety of clothing and outfits for Frank West to use. This might be the strongest set in the series, with a heavy emphasis on the fun mascot-type characters and plenty of Capcom throwbacks. Environmental art. Environmental art is mostly great, especially in the mall. The stores and brands are awesome. The artists had a ton of fun here, and it shows. This is a fun, grounded environment that nearly achieves the charm of Willemite in the first Dead Rising. Photography. Photography is back and better than ever. The selfie mechanic is great and really well executed. I kinda wish the devs put more emphasis on this and rewarded the player more for using it. Like maybe having survivors be more emotive when you take a selfie with them, or maybe collectibles for taking tourist-style selfies at key landmarks. The integration of the story is decent and basically amounts to Arkham Asylum-esque detective sequences peppered throughout the game, though.
There's something here, but I can't make it out. Mr. Flamel, what the
The bad! There's no challenge! It's genuinely hard to die in this game, as you have a lot of health, portable healing items that have dedicated inventory space, and a dedicated hotkey for them. All of this gets worse as you level and become more and more unstoppable. Loss of the timer. The timer is gone now, which is a big hit to the challenge and theming of the game. In Dead Rising 1, you had to manage your time well, which added challenge that wasn't tied directly to combat. It also worked really well with the journalist mystery theme of the first game, as Frank could literally miss the big scoop if he wasn't in the right place at the right time. Changes to survivors. Survivors are now generated from quests that pop up for you. They can die, but it doesn't really have any weight because another one will just spawn in the same spot if you return. They can be farmed indefinitely. Rescuing them is also trivial. All you have to do is kill the zombies around their spawn point. After that, the mission is complete and you earn one survivor at the nearest safe zone. You don't even have to escort survivors anymore, and they don't have unique names like in the past. Psychos. Psychos are now called maniacs, but they're shadows of their former selves. There are very few of them, and the theming around them is really weak. They were a huge focus in previous Dead Rising games, with unique character models and art, cutscenes defining their personality, and a genuine sense of presence in the environment. They're hardly a thing in this game, which is one of the biggest disappointments. Bugs. I had numerous hard crashes to the dashboard, freezes, hiccups, frame rate issues, whatever weird thing is going on here with the collision. Some bugs can create some pretty hilarious moments, but it'd be an obvious improvement to the game if it was all just a bit more stable. Inventory and controls. The inventory is divided into throwing weapons, melee, ranged, and health items. All of them have dedicated space and each are assigned a D-pad button. One weird decision is that using a health item is assigned to tapping down on the D-pad, and dropping an item is assigned to holding down on the D-pad. This makes dropping specific items quickly a bit of a problem because you have to first select them with their D-pad hotkey, and then hold down to drop them, which is much slower than older Dead Risings. Also, don't accidentally tap down because you'll use a health item instead. Look, there's a lot to like in this game. It's a fun, stress-free experience, great for relaxing and maybe even throwing on music or a TV show to listen to while you murder zombies. Personally, the franchise meant something different to me, so while I overall enjoy the game, I really wanted a more authentic Dead Rising experience. Also, you should subscribe to my channel for more. You won't regret it. I promise.